Hello, and
Welcome.
welcome to
Alternate
Fucking
Casuals.
What makes you
fucking
casual?
it don't matter.
What you know.
Fucking
All right, let's fucking boogie. Ultimate fucking casuals. We are back. Took a little bit of time off, but here we are. Nathan, Isaac, my fellow casuals. How casual are you feeling?
Yo, doing well, man. There's a lot of sports going on at the moment. NFL back, along with good fights. I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm feeling quite casual. I watched, as Isaac said, the opening night of football. Football's back, baby. And this is me 2 years removed from not being a fan of anyone. So it was actually kind of like, oh, I don't know who any of these people are.
The pain is gone.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm
Yeah,
gonna watch this season. I kind of think I want to.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting games, especially the first two weeks from what I've seen. But yeah, I'm excited.
I've been wanting to get a show about NFL for fucking years. I had one lined up, but then everybody fell out of it. It's too bad. Well, we got quite a few reviews to get through, so let's get right into it. They're all pretty quick hits anyway. Tuesday, August 19th, Contender Series Week 2. There's a lot of good stoppages on it. This is a fun one. Dana White's Contender Series is a fun series to watch. I don't care for the dramatic stuff that happens in Ultimate Fighter, so this is a good one for me. Thursday, August 21st, PFL 2025. The season comes to a close. Your three champions for middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight. The light heavy, Antonio Carlos, he submits Sullivan Cauley in the second. Was pretty one-sided. Oleg Popov, split decision over Alexander Romanov. Two dumpy heavyweights, so not a whole lot going on here. And the meat of the dish, Fabian Edwards, KO3 over Dalton Rasta. Major KO.
This was insane, man. Because like watching it live, like Edwards wasn't getting like manhandled or anything, but like
he was losing.
I think, yeah, he was losing. But man, dude, that head kick KO, it's insane. And then like they came out later, like after the fight was over, saying how like to the exact like date, was it like 3 years? Him and Leon Edwards, the UFC fighter, KO'd Usman with the same exact kick.
That's right.
And like it's just insane. It's one of those things like simulation type things. Like it doesn't seem real, but like this is just insane. I mean, they both have now a championship winning head kick, and it happened 3 years apart. It's wild.
Were they also born 3 years apart? Because that would really bring it full circle.
Oh,
I want
I have to check,
now.
but yeah, this is. So he was born 93. Oh, it was 2 years. Okay, they were born 2 years apart.
Oh, that would have been
Close.
great.
Yeah. That was insane, though. I mean, very good KO. It was super flashy. Obviously, like the Leon Edwards one was better just because of the caliber of opponent that Usman is. But this was a really nice win for him too. Fabian, he got some really nice wins on the way to this championship, and this season he like really showed out. Which is sort of wild because like a few years ago he was sort of this guy that I'm not gonna say like people made fun of, but like he wasn't like really. No one thought he could really reach this level, but I mean he's here now, so I mean it's wild to see. But yeah, I mean for a fun moment.
Yeah, he's graduating to the Champion Series. He's going to be fighting the Stennis guy for the PFL title.
They faced off, right?
Yeah, they did.
Off and, I mean, yeah, that's. I feel like that could be a fun matchup, a nice stand-up, because I think the other guy's a kickboxer against Dennis is. So I feel like that can make for an interesting matchup.
Yeah, should be good.
Yeah.
Moving on to Friday, August 22nd. One Friday Fights 121. Packed with awesome stoppages. Some fun names here. Payaksurin JP Power is another. That's a good one. Pamor E Dang. But that's enough of those. We have UFC Fight Night 426. This was the Johnny Walker card in Shanghai. Gonna skip that one really quick to knock these other two out. Dana White's Contender Series on August 26th. This was week 3. This one was all stoppages and a lot of contracts.
And we're also seeing a lot of contenders kind of come through here in the heavier divisions, right? So Dante Johnson, heavyweight, TKO 1, and Ryan Gandra, light heavyweight, TKO 1. I can't pronounce the other guy's name. Abdul Rahman
Yakyaev.
Yakyaev, yeah. I mean, which those are the two divisions I think right now that don't feel like have a lot of future prospects. Like they heavyweight especially desperately needs new talent.
Yeah.
And so it is exciting to see on these contender series, like, hey, here's your next wave coming up finally.
Yeah. They're like restocking. It's smart. I didn't even notice that until you said it, but yeah, that's smart that they're doing that.
Yeah, now that you mention it, that's something that now that I think on it, because you mention it, is they're definitely stacking it with light heavies and heavies. At least one per card.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, like surely one of them's going to stick out. Maybe not all of them are going to be good, but surely one of them can at least reach that like top 5. I mean, heavyweight especially is super dire. So I feel like I've not seen these guys fight, but I feel like just based on like the UFC scouts, the talent that they're seeing, I mean, one of them has to be able to reach the top 5, surely. I mean, heavyweight needs it bad. Tom Aspinall's going to run out of opponents soon.
Yeah, that was a big one on the Paris card that we'll be talking about next time.
Mm-hmm.
Last little quick one before we get to UFC Fight Night in Shanghai. Friday, August 29th, One Friday Fights 122. There were some good Mongolian prospects on here. I was pretty pleasantly surprised. I think the Mongolians are dominating ONE FC's MMA circuit, so that's pretty cool. Not a lot of funny names on this one, but good action. The headliner, super big. Like I don't know if it was an upset, but it was a big knockout, kind of like a shock. People expected better from Pampayak, the Thai fighter. All right, Saturday, August 23rd, UFC Fight Night in Shanghai. Oh, it's been a minute, but from the bottom up, shall we? Uran Satibaldiev submits DR Norgazai in the first. Su Young-yu gets the UD over Xiaolong. Yiza TKO 1 over Weston Wilson.
This is a bad one, man.
Yeah.
This is a really knockout. He got slumped like against the cage, and it was in the first round, right?
Yes.
I don't remember if it was early or not, but yeah. Actually, I think it was early, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a really bad KO. Is Yiza a road to UFC dude? I know they try to get a few of them, but obviously, if he finished them early, he had to have looked decent.
They did have some road to UFC fighters on here. I'm not sure if this was one of them, though. I know Su Young-yu and Xiaolong was a road to UFC fight.
Oh, okay.
Just because Weston Wilson, not sure if they have Westerners in road. But Michel Pereira drops the fucking ball TKO 1 loss to Kyle Daukhaus.
This was an
upset.
lights out. I think right hook put him out. I mean, right in the first round. I mean, Pereira is kind of he's really just like our main event that we're going to be working to, Johnny Walker. He either gets a spectacular knockout or gets knocked out. I think that's his meme now. That's what he is. And so on the wrong side of it this time, but I mean, you're going to get action with this guy in one way or the other.
Yeah. I mean, yet again, this one was also like pretty quick. I mean, Kyle Dawkins, he used to be in the UFC. Actually, he got cut. They brought him back for this fight. I think it was like on semi-short notice, and he got it done. So I'm assuming he's going to be back in the UFC at least for the foreseeable future. But yeah, I mean, this is a very good performance. Knocking out Michel Pereira. I mean, not a lot of people. I don't know. It's probably been done before, but I don't know. A lot of people have done it.
Rong Zhu over Austin Hubbard. Is this a lightweight fight? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Who Austin Hubbard is. I am. Okay.
Yeah, he was a tough guy. He was on the Ultimate Fighter, and as you can see, he took another loss. But yeah.
Oh, my heart breaks. Charles Johnson, TKO 2 over Lonier Kavanaugh. Oh.
Man, this was a brutal knockout, by the way. It was like a leaping hook. He jumped forward and just like completely left Lonier Kavanaugh like planked. It was a really bad knockout. Charles Johnson, I mean, we spoke about it before. He's gotten these wins over very good people. Like he has a win over Joshua Van, albeit like, this was a few years ago, and this was like early on in Van's career. But he has wins over very good people, and this is another one. Like Lonier Kavanaugh was another like English prospect coming up, and he just flatlined him. He's putting together like a respectable resume for sure.
He comes in with the Slenderman build. I think that's what gives people trouble. And he's an awesome gatekeeper.
Yeah, I mean, this dude he's putting together some really nice wins, and I don't know, man. People that get matched up with him, he's not a scrub. He's ranked now, I think, at flyweight. So the UFC, I think, have seen enough to at least respect him. But yeah, beware if you're matched up with Charles Johnson.
He is number 13.
Yeah.
I do kind of question a little bit the UFC's matchmaking here. Not that like granted, you're giving Kavanaugh a fringe top 15 fighter, but like not an unwinnable position by any means, but like there's no prospect development once you hit the UFC. It's like once you're in, you get fed to the wolves. And compare that to boxing, it's like you might get 20 fights before you're you've built up the resume enough to fight someone big, which has its, I mean, it takes a long time for mega fights or even really interesting non-title fights to get put together. But the end product is, when you see them lose, it's not like they weren't experienced enough, or it's more like the talent or the skills of the other guy won out, as opposed to someone getting thrown in too quickly. And I wonder if the UFC, maybe they should take a little bit of a step back, because they've lost a lot of prospects, as we'll get to later on, that had potential. Not that one loss ends your UFC career, but like if you get brutally knocked out a couple times early on, that really kills your momentum and star power. I wonder if they'd be better off, like Bo Nickal's a great example. Like, did he have to move up to someone like De Ridder as quickly as he did?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're saying that in hindsight. I mean, there's plenty of options where people will just fly up the rankings very quickly, but
it's become like a little bit of a meme at this point, though. Like that the UFC is just like a heavy like trial by fire. They're very much just, you're in the UFC now, but like it's like with very few exceptions, like they're not gonna be treating you with any type of care. Like it's Sean O'Malley, in terms of, I'm trying to think of current UFC fighters that they try to sort of be careful with the matchmaking. Sean O'Malley was one. I'm trying to think who else. was like it's maybe Kamzat, I guess. Maybe Kamzat a little bit, but like there's very few fighters that the UFC will like do very careful matchmaking for, like on their come up. But yeah, it is very much a trial by fire type of rise in the UFC as a prospect.
You're expected, though, by the time you get to UFC, you're expected to have already cut your teeth in some other organization, right? Like that's what Cage Warriors, Invicta, Legacy, Alliance, that's what those organizations are for, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean the issue is that sometimes you get these prospects like Loner Kavanaugh had like 10 fights. He has 10 MMA fights, pro MMA fights, and that's like, I mean, like Nathan said, it is. I mean, it is like a different sport to boxing as well, but like the prospect stage, it is very, very different. I mean, you'll see people with like 40 plus fights, 30 plus fights in boxing, and they're not really like, and like they'll still be at prospect stage sometimes. So it is very different. But yeah, I mean, the UFC I mean, they're sort of taking that approach that, someone will stick eventually. Like that, like one fighter is not bigger than the company type approach.
A little bit of a preview. Canelo was up into the 40s before he started having major fights.
Yeah, I mean, another one, Munguia as well. He was another one that
like 45.
He'd fought nobody. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe this is also a time where, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what Paramount's appetite for this is, but could they acquire a league like PFL, right? And instead of like dumpstering it, can that be like hey, that's your prospect league? And then once you accumulate so many wins, or maybe you win the belt there, then when you step up to the UFC, you're a way more seasoned product. You don't have like Kavanaugh in this instance, he had 9 MMA fights total. Like that's, even if I think he came from another discipline first, but it's not very many rounds in the octagon.
Yeah. Yeah. It is interesting though. I'm actually curious to see, because it seems like they're investing in like a little bit more into the Dana White Contender Series. Like especially like recently, I'm starting to see like a lot more about it, like in the media, like on social media, they're promoting it a lot more. So like I don't know, maybe we'll see like prospects built more through that, or like Leo said, taken from other like major, or not major, but like better regional promotions that they come with experience. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's something we'll have to see in the future.
I keep saying it about Dana White's Contender Series. They have two. UFC has 2 DoD military sponsors, Marine Corps and Air Force. So, and they have red and blue trunks. I mean, you have Team Marine Corps, Team Air Force. Come on, it sells itself, dude. Where are you at, Dana? Where's my money for this idea? Moving up. Gage Young, UD over Maheshate. And into the main portion, Tailake Nuraji. I think I got that one right. TKO 1 over Kiefer Crosby. Sumuderji, UD over Kevin Borjas. Sergey Pavlovich beats Waldo Cortez Acosta by decision.
Very underwhelming performance from Pavlovich here. Like just another decision. There was a time he was on like a crazy, like a 10-fight knockout streak before he lost to Aspinall. And I really hoped that he could secure a knockout here, because he could actually present a challenging rematch if he was back to being a KO machine, right? If there's true one-punch knockout power threat. But I don't know if it's just him being timid now, but he does not look like a guy that would give Aspinall any sort of troubles now. Like I don't even have a belief that he could land one punch and win if Aspinall made a mistake.
Yeah, it seems like he seems like a completely different fighter than he was a few years ago. I don't know if it was like the Aspinall fight that he just sort of is not down with, his power anymore. Like he doesn't have as much faith in it anymore. But yeah, he seems like a different fighter. There's just two decisions in a row coming after a loss to Volkov. I mean, this is not going to get him a title shot. I feel like. I mean, we'll see who the UFC end up doing next. If Aspinall gets by Gone, but I don't think the UFC are going to give him, a title shot off of this.
I was hoping that Waldo would get the win just because it's a new matchup. Newer,
Yeah.
I guess.
I wanted Pavlovich to win, but like, I wanted to see that like Terminator Pavlovich, like like he used to. Because he used to be like pretty crazy. Like literally, just as soon as the fight started, he's walking forward, and like 10 seconds in, he's already trying to knock you out. But like, yeah, this fight was completely different.
Aljamain Sterling, UD over Brian Ortega. Did Sterling take it easy on Ortega? It's my conspiracy theory that he kind of
100%.
He went light on him.
Like I think it's known that they were friends or gym buddies or something, but Sterling had an opportunity to knock Ortega out. Like it wasn't an eye poke. It was like he was genuinely bothered by a real punch that landed, and Sterling just let him recover. Ortega was also in terrible condition for this. Like he had one of the worst weight cuts I've seen in a minute. Like he looked like a skeleton.
He was gonna die, pretty much.
Did you guys see that face-off? That face-off was crazy. He could barely walk. Like
yeah.
Whenever they met in the center, he was like swaying. I mean, his eyes were super sunk in. I mean, the whole, like, everything behind the scenes that happened for this fight was sort of wild. Like, him missing weight, they moved it to a catch weight, and I mean, he obviously tried to make the weight, so I guess like respect to that. But like, I mean, man, maybe he shouldn't have tried because he looked really bad. Like, this is one of the worst weight cuts in a minute I've seen.
I mean, you could say it was an honorable thing for Sterling to do, but like, I don't know. There's something that doesn't sit right to me about you have an opponent that you could finish. You don't even have to make it, as brutal as possible. He could have ran through him in a round or two, and it seemed like he chose to just stand for 5 rounds.
Yeah, it does not help his. I mean, because he called Volk out immediately after this for a title shot, and him going to decision with Ortega does not help him in that. I mean, he landed a beautiful elbow. I forget in which round it was. That seemingly, stunned Ortega. And like, we learned after the fight, he showed us some photos in a video that his elbow was actually like super swollen after he landed it. Like, I don't know what he messed up, but it messed up his elbow. But yeah, you need a finish, man. That's a great way to get the UFC to get their attention, to get the matchmakers' attention. But yeah, this is not going to get him a title shot.
Speaking of highlight finishes to get attention, Johnny Walker survives. He gets. I wrote you off, Johnny. I'm sorry. TKO2 over Zhang Ming Yang.
Dude, Johnny heard us talking shit, bro.
He did.
He heard us talking shit, and he had to go out there and correct the record. This was. It's always weird with Johnny, because in some fights, especially like early on in his career, he has looked like really good. He was, one of these people that was gonna be a potential contender for the belt, but then he just had like these bad performances on and off. Brutal knockouts. Then like whenever you start getting a little bit further in the rankings, it's like he can beat some of these guys. And Zhang was one of the guys he ended up, Zhang was one of the guys that he was able to beat, and he did pretty well. He did it pretty well. It was he ruined Zhang's leg, was it? I think Zhang fell down early. Well, not early, but like in the second round from a few leg kicks, and Walker finished him off. It was a decent performance. He got performance of the night for it as well. And I really don't know where Johnny goes from here, but this was a nice win. This keeps him in the UFC a little bit longer.
I don't know if
And
that's
completely
a good
dusts. Well, I guess it's a good thing if he doesn't get knocked out that much more. He definitely doesn't need the damage, but this totally dusts Zhang's any sort of contender status he was hoping for is gone. This guy, like, he's still ranked. He's still ranked 15th, but this guy's never going to sniff a title. Like, if he can't get past Johnny Walker, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, this was gonna break him into the top 10, and like, you know, he had a nice win streak prior to this, so I mean, he had like momentum behind him, but it's all gone now. He's gonna have to fight, you know, maybe even outside of the rankings, or like very minimum, like the 11 to 15 range or 11 to 14 range that he's gonna have to fight. So this is not good for Zhang's career. I'm trying to look at the rankings now. Who does Johnny Walker even fight next? I could see them trying to do Johnny Walker versus Nikita Krylov. Krylov just lost to Guskov. I could see them trying to make that matchup.
I was gonna suggest Guskov, just because they're both coming off
I think-
wins.
Yeah, I feel like I remember seeing something about Guskov having a matchup against someone. Like I think he's fighting up the rankings. I don't know if it was Volkan or who, but I think Guskov has a. Here, let me check. I completely forgot about this. Oh yeah. Okay, so I've seen this on a few things. I'm not sure if it's confirmed, but apparently for like the 22nd of November, Guskov might be fighting Jan Blachowicz.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And this is something that it came out like earlier this week or last week. So yeah, he's actually getting a pretty big step up fight, going from 10 to 5. Should be a fun fight. Yeah, we'll see what they do with Walker. This was a good win for him, especially because like even like we had written him off completely, and I think he was an underdog, but he had got beaten. He did what he needed to do, man. He proved us wrong.
Well, I guess I can keep asking what Johnny Walker's doing.
That question remains.
Yeah,
That question remains.
Still got it. Anything more for the fight night card?
Nice little Chinese card. It was early as hell for United States.
Oh,
people.
that was rough.
Yeah.
My condolences to the EU fans. Like, God, that sucks.
Can you imagine waking up like that early and watching your prospect Loner Kavanaugh get slept in the second round?
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Man. Yeah, no, that would be rough.
I'd be pretty upset. I'd probably go back to sleep. At least I tried to anyway. All right, if there's nothing else for that, let me put some bows on here. So LVX Media Net, all one word. That's the social media handle everywhere. If you can't find it, we're not on it. Wherever you're listening, hit us with the rating. And if you're feeling froggy, hit us with the review. Ads, they suck. Nobody likes them. But if you want to get rid of them, Patreon, LVX Media Net over there, just like everywhere else. It's a good time. All right, let me do this. What if a small natural step could make a profound difference in your daily well-being? Many of us grapple with everyday stress, looking for natural ways to support our mood, our mental resilience, and our overall vitality. The answer might lie in nature's wisdom. Support for this episode is from psilocybin, the powerful psilocybin mushroom in a convenient microdosing capsule. Revered in traditional practices, psilocybin is gaining recognition for its remarkable benefits in mental health. With psilocybin, you're choosing a natural path to holistic wellness. I feel it's incredibly important to say that this isn't a substitute for professional medical advice, it's just a really good supplement. Of the 3 blends, I've tried the Inner Peace blend, and I can tell you from the beginning I felt a greater sense of calm and mental clarity. I've been juggling with some unfortunate stressors, and I've been doing it with a lot more resilience. But psilocybin is more than just a supplement, it's a step towards a more harmonious you. If you want to have a look at what psilocybin has to offer, Go to lvx.be/soulcybin. That's SOULCYBIN. And use the code LuxMedia to get yourself a nice discount. Help us out a little bit in the process. Take the first step towards inner peace and clarity. Nurture your nature with nature. lvx.be/soulcybin. Use code LuxMedia. Support for this episode is from Ramen Bay. You love ramen, but wish it had more, fresh toppings that take it from good to epic. But who has time for all that chopping and shit? Well, get ready to level up your noodle game with Ramen Bay. It's the ultimate topper that brings big flavor and incredible texture right into your bowl in seconds. Imagine perfectly seasoned beef or seafood, vibrant vegetables, or savory mushrooms, all freeze-dried to lock in peak freshness and flavor. Just sprinkle as much Ramen Bay as your heart desires as you're boiling up your hot ramen, stir, and watch it transform. And now, preview time. Starting first, Tuesday, September 9th, Contender Series Week 5. There is a heavyweight and a light heavyweight on this card. So if you want to peep the stars of tomorrow, today, there you go. Friday, September 12th, One Friday Fights 124. This is their prospect series, so you don't necessarily need to know who they are. You're just you're there to catch guys making their dreams come true with huge contracts. So it's a good time. But here's why we're here. Saturday, September 13th, Noche UFC 3. It's the third one, right?
Yes, September 13th.
I don't remember if it's the third or the second, but it's one of them. Yeah.
Let's go from the bottom up. Montserrat Rendon versus Alice Pereira at bantamweight. Edgar Cairez versus Alessandro Costa. Where have I seen Cairez? I've seen him before. Zachary Reese versus Cedric Dumas at middleweight. Jesus Aguilar versus Luis Gurule at fly. Tatiana Suarez versus Amanda Lemos, 2nd and 4th at strawweight. Claudio Puelles versus Joaquim Silva at lightweight. Well, I recognize one name. Two names. This is shaping up to be an excellent card already.
Oh, wait, is this Alex Pereira's sister?
Oh shit, is it?
I think it actually might be Alex Pereira's sister. Yeah, I remember I've seen a few clips of her at karate combat, but this might actually be her.
Yeah, I've seen her kickbox, and she's a fucking beast.
Let me see. I'm assuming it's her. But yeah, that's actually.
Yep, it is.
Get some nice knockouts.
Yep, that's Alex's sister. She's really good. That's actually worth it. I was gonna say, like, these, for whatever reason, I don't know what possessed these September cards for both boxing and the UFC to not have anything going on in the prelims, but this is actually something worth watching.
Yeah, like she's actually gotten like some nice knockouts before, so this would be like a really nice injection into the women's division.
Especially at bantam.
Yeah. They need another name for sure.
Into the main portion, Jose Daniel Medina versus Dusko Todorovic at middleweight. Rafa Garcia and Jared Gordon, lightweight. Rob Font, 9th versus, I think this, I don't know, one of the very few Mexicans that's on this card. Raul Rosas.
Oh, wait, yeah.
That's actually going to be a very solid fight.
Yes.
Like, Rosas Jr. not
injured.
ranked, but a lot of potential.
He got injured, though. Like, that fight Rob Font's still on the card, but that fight got scrapped.
Raul Rosas got injured?
Yeah, he got injured. They didn't even say what it was, but he's not on the card anymore.
Well,
He was supposed to be Coleman, but yeah.
So,
They replaced him with someone called David Martinez. At least that's what I'm seeing on the UFC site.
So I'm watching the first fight on the prelims, skipping everything else until the end to watch the main event. All right.
Yeah, I mean, this card is rough. This card is, I mean, and we know why too, because like, I can pretty much almost guarantee you, Dana White will not be at this card. So I think they don't want it to be like in direct competition with.
They're timed properly to not overlap.
Oh yeah, 6 p.m. Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, oof. This is a rough card. I mean, there's a few. There's some names, but yeah, this is overshadowed by what we're gonna be talking about next. But the main event on this card is good.
Yep, Diego Lopez, second at featherweight versus 10th rated John Silva.
Yeah, this is a really good fight. It's completely carrying the card, but it is really good.
The fight
Really kind of a terrible position for. Well, I mean, I guess John Silva's got nothing to lose, but he's got a lot of momentum, and I mean, a bad knockout loss would certainly be a big setback. I don't know if he's quite ready for what Lopez is going to bring, but at the same token, like Lopez here, coming off of a championship loss, right? He wants to stay in contention. He can't afford to lose here either. So this, like, both guys have a lot to play for.
Yeah, I'm sort of worried here because like we know Diego Lopez, he like likes to come forward, and he's just like hard hitting, sort of just in your face pressure fighter. But man, against someone like John Silva, he's a little bit more measured. I mean, he also likes to be the aggressor, and I mean, we know he has power. I feel like someone's gonna get knocked out. We'll see if like Diego tries to mix in some grappling, since I guess I would imagine he has the edge there. But man, on the feet, I mean, it's sort of a toss up. Both of them, I would say Silva is probably like a little bit better on the feet in terms of like accuracy. I mean, he's a little bit more precise. But man, they both have power. I feel like this probably ends in a finish, probably a knockout, if I was to guess. And I'm gonna support Diego Lopez, but I'm gonna be nervous as hell, bro.
Man, I'm not sure who I want to take, because like John Silva's, he's like red hot coming into this. Maybe not like red, but he's still got some heat behind him as he's coming in. And Lopez coming off the loss. Eesh.
The fighting nerds, they have coming into this fight, momentum's not on, like, it is on John Silva's side, but it's not on the fighting nerd side.
Yeah, personal momentum, yes, but
yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that won't affect them at all, because like we said, personally, John Silva's he's on a crazy run. He's got some nice wins behind him, so we'll see if it affects him. But yeah, this is a good fight, man. This is a good fight. I'm excited.
I think the thing that's really going to help Diego is that he just got off of going 5 rounds in a championship fight. That's like real experience you can't replicate. And he had to fight a champion that's like one of the best at like a balanced attack, right? Volk he doesn't have one area that he's dominant in. He's like a true mixed martial artist. So he just saw a ton of different looks from a guy and came up short. And surely going back into his camp, he had to be like, I have to get better everywhere else. That's what I would hope you would take away from a fight like that. And if that experience translates, then I think he'll be able to deal with Silva. And I think he's probably going to have his chin tested, though. I believe he has a solid chin, but Silva does hit hard. That's really the one thing I'd be worried about. Just maybe not even worried about, but that would be the unknown that could swing this into Silva's favor, as if he really does have dynamite in his hands, and maybe Diego doesn't have a bad chin, but if he just has an average one, that could get, off the rails quickly.
he has been buzzed before, right?
He has been, but never like rocked to his
Not-
boots.
yeah, not
We've never seen
serious.
that.
I'm looking at the odds right now. they have Diego Lopez plus 220, John Silva minus 270.
No
Well,
way.
I mean, that's yeah. They have Silva, decent favorite.
Who's the guy in the MMA chat that keeps talking about like the picks of the week or whatever, the parlays? Can
Oh my
someone
God,
get him on
yeah.
this?
Scarface, yeah.
Scarface, 2 units.
Oh,
What are these units? No one knows.
Yeah.
But you'll get a lot of them.
I don't know,
Pick
yeah.
the right one.
I've asked a few times, like, dude, what is a unit? How much is that? Is that like $10? What, $5?
yeah. We don't know what his basis is. Yeah.
What are the odds for Diego Lopez knockout? What are the odds for that?
Let me check.
Diego's a plus 220. I might break my no gambling streak.
Oh yeah.
That's
I don't
just
know why,
money
but
line?
yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to see the. Actually, yeah. DraftKings does not have any other odds. They just have like the money line at the moment. I don't know why. Maybe when other week starts.
Yeah,
Some
maybe
more.
those will come in later. That's shocking. I'm really surprised that people are that down, or at least the bettors are that down on Lopez.
Yeah, I thought they would be like pick 'em. That's sort of how I see the fight. I mean, it's I'm worried, man. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna support Lopez, but I am worried because we know Silva has power, and we've seen Lopez get hit before, so it's not like he's some defensive mastermind or anything like that.
Maybe he learned from the Volk fight, like Nathan said. That's
True.
That's experience you can't
True.
replicate.
That's like the elite fighters. Whenever they take a loss, I mean, they learn, and like a loss to Volk, I mean, you're talking about experience that few people get, and that's like one of the best fights you can have to learn.
Oh man. Anything more for Noche UFC?
I'll be watching, but it's not a crazy card.
Yeah, speaking of I'll be watching, but it's not a crazy card. Canelo Crawford. That's right. Boxing has infiltrated the preview section. This one's on Netflix.
We gotta talk about it.
Absolutely.
It's
too big to
Netflix
avoid.
fight. Yeah, they only do big fights. Man, yeah, I'm actually like pretty excited for this. Like as it's been getting closer, I've been like shitting bricks a little bit more, but yeah, go ahead, Leo.
Yeah. So we're gonna do we've had Isaac over on Boxing B-Sides, and he's done the Boxing Fans Guide to MMA Cards. So we're doing the MMA Fans Guide to this. Starting from the bottom, Sultan Al Mohammed versus Martin Caraballo. I'm gonna be honest, don't know who these guys are. Marco Alvarez versus Marcos Osorio.
Dude, I'm hyped for this. Michael Verde, he's a Mexican Olympian. He got silver at the last Olympics.
Nice.
So I'm pretty hyped about. He's like very early on in his professional career, but I'm excited to see him.
Yeah, this should be telling. He's 2-0 versus 11-2-1. That's a pretty steep gap
Slowly
on paper.
Yeah, slowly step up, baby steps.
Another guy 2-0, Reito Tsutsumi versus Javier Martinez. Reito should be fun. This should be a fun scrap. Steven Nelson versus Raiko Santana. Tsutsumi is a super feather. That's 130. Yes, 130. Steven Nelson is 168.
Yeah, that's one of Terrence Crawford's sparring partners. I think his last fight out was a loss to Pacheco, but for his age, he actually looks all right.
Yeah, he's nearing 40, but he still looks pretty
Yeah.
good. Heavyweight fight, Ivan Ditchko, 15-0 versus Jermaine Franklin, 23-2.
This is a crazy throwback, man. Franklin.
Yeah,
This is a wild throwback.
I'm thinking that Ditchko is green enough and Franklin is washed enough that it should be a decent heavyweight fight.
I've honestly never seen Ditchko fight, but I mean I've got to be back in Franklin here. It's been so long since we've like seen him fight, and this is on like a decent, decently promoted card. I mean it's on Netflix, so we got to back Franklin.
Super welterweight is 154. So Callum Walsh and Fernando Vargas Jr. This is low key pretty good.
This is one of Dana White's boys, Callum Walsh.
That's right. He's on the 360 promotions on UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah, he's been. He's headlined a bunch of their cards. I mean, they have him in Ireland and stuff. He's like, I mean, probably at the moment one of their bigger boxing guys. Yeah, this is probably his first like big card he's on. We'll see how he performs.
Not the best Vargas brother that they've pulled out for this.
Oh yeah.
But the one with the best.
Not even close.
Not the best name recognition, but he's the namesake of the legend. So
yeah,
I guess it works.
He's the junior.
All right, we're getting good here. Another 154-pound fight. Sergey Bohachuk versus Brandon Adams. This is a rematch. In their first one, Brandon Adams sparked Bohachuk out pretty quickly. So could it have been a fluke? Who knows? We're about to find out.
Adams he's been a little bit inactive recently, but yeah, I mean, like you said, he flatlined Bohachuk in their first fight. And I saw some things today, like this morning, that Bohachuk put out saying that, he took this loss and like he has to learn from it. And he's talking about being more defensively sound and involving like head movement. And that's just like the complete opposite of what Bohachuk normally fights like. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think Bohachuk will win just because like Adams hasn't really been active recently. But, I mean, we'll see. It happened once. See if it happens again.
If Virgil couldn't end Bohachuk, I'm chalking it up to a fluke. That Brandon Adams caught
most
lightning
likely
in a bottle.
Most likely, yeah.
Bohachuk, if you're like action friendly, you think boxing is boring, Bohachuk is action friendly. He should be anyway.
Last year he had one of the big contenders for Fight of the Year versus Virgil Ortiz. So yeah, he is fun.
Oh, this next one should be all action. This is a 168-pound fight. Christian Mbili versus Lester Martinez. Lester Martinez has been coming up on the Pro Box circuit, which is kind of like a developmental promotion. And this is Lester Martinez graduating, and he's out of Pro Box where they have hard fights. They have really hard matchups over there. So this is no different. Christian Mbili, a little bit of an unknown quantity, hasn't had the best opposition, but he's been mauling dudes forever. So this should be a good one.
His last fight was Selecki, but was it like he's fought Derevchenko as well. Yeah, I'm excited for this man. Like Leo said, I think this one's gonna be a good one. Mbili has that power, he's got some speed behind it too. He's been like interim, or like he's been highly ranked for some time now. But Lester Martinez, man, he's again another one of the Terrence Crawford sparring partners. He's been in camp with them for some time now. He works with Bomac.
Bomac's an
so
excellent trainer. Excellent trainer.
He's got a very good mind behind him. So I think this could be a really good fight. I'm excited for this one.
I wish I could say I'm as excited for this one as I am for Mbili and Bohachuk. But Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. Undisputed 168 pounds. Undisputed on the boxing side of things means like you got to collect all the Dragon Balls before you get your wish or whatever. So Canelo's collected them all, and he's been defending them for a while. I don't know if it's conventional thinking, but Terrence Crawford is moving up from 154 to 168. So, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much the size difference is going to matter, because Terrence Crawford he trains with Bomac, but Terrence Crawford himself is insane in fight IQ.
He also is not small. I want to say he still has the reach advantage despite moving up 2 weight classes. And I've seen the guy deadlift 405 in like jeans or like street clothes or whatever.
Cold.
Like he's a strong guy. But nevertheless, I mean, Canelo's been at this weight way longer. I mean, he's definitely filled out every bit of muscle he could get out there. He's going to be the more imposing fighter. And I guess I'm curious what you guys think, because I don't want to be a hater. I want this fight to live up to expectations. I think it would be great. My thinking coming into this fight is it's going to be like Canelo's last 5 or 6 fights, where it's maybe a little bit of excitement in the first 4 rounds, and then Canelo takes over and cruises, and his opponent just, as soon as they get hit with one big shot, they seem like they check out. They're not interested in engaging anymore. That's my, like, if you asked me 3 months ago, that's how I said this fight probably goes. But it seems like there's an opportunity for this to be something really special. And I mean, people have obviously drawn comparisons to Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler way back in the day. Is there an opportunity, or what does Terrence have to do to make it that kind of a fight? Like, it sounds like he needs to have an all-time performance, and he needs to really cement himself as, like, you need to have a first ballot Hall of Famer type of performance, right? And if he does that, this fight could be really, really good. I mean, do you guys think that's possible? How does he need to approach this fight to deal with, you know, the differences that he's going to fight against Canelo? Not just even the size difference, but Canelo's really skilled. You know, lack of speed aside, or maybe a reduction in kind of his own physical abilities, he's still very, very skilled and very smart. How does Terrence deal with that?
The thing, like, I think, like, on paper, when you start like comparing attributes, like, yes, we know Canelo will have the power advantage going into this. Like, that's pretty much like set in stone. But like, I think Terrence Crawford, he's faster. He's coming up from like a smaller weight class, and I think just naturally faster. I think he's a better boxer, and I think he probably has a better boxing IQ than Canelo. I mean, he's, especially recently, Crawford has faced better opposition than Canelo has. Like, I mean, Canelo's been fighting bums for the past few years. I mean, this is like really the first, like, you know, in quotation marks, like, big fights that Canelo has had in the past few years, maybe even since like the Plant fight. Because I mean, he fought Munguia, Skoll, Berlanga. I mean, it's, you know, he made them into names, but these weren't necessarily hard fights. And, you know, some of them have aged terribly. Terrence Crawford, I mean, he's a way better boxer than these guys. I think Bud has some chances to win here. Because like I said, he's a better boxer. His footwork is going to be better. What it comes down to for me is, how will he deal with Canelo's power? Because yes, he is the better boxer, and I think Canelo will be missing a lot. But he will land as well. It's not like he's not going to be over, you know, he's not going to have 0% accuracy in this fight, is what I mean to say. So like, how will Bud deal with it whenever Canelo lands, be it, you know, to the body or up top? How will Bud deal with that? Because we have seen Bud hurt, you know, earlier on his career, you know, versus Mean Machine. Gamboa hit him once as well. I mean, we saw at the 154 fight with Madrimov was landing too. So like, Canelo will land at some point. That's what I'm waiting for. Because if I see, you know, he eats it like straight up, and his speed is not affected, you know, his mindset's not affected, then that means something. Because I mean, that means that he can he's able to take a few, and like I said, Canelo will be missing, so he's not going to be landing. They're not going to be standing and trading like like Canelo was doing versus Triple G, because Bud's not. He's a boxer first. He's not a brawler. He's not that type of brawler.
Dumb. Why would you stand in front of the bigger
Yeah, exactly.
guy?
Yeah. I mean, his boxing IQ is, I think, it's better than Canelo's. So he has chances to win. And I say this as a Canelo fan, man. I'm backing Canelo obviously for this fight, but man, I'm nervous. He could lose. I mean, and we've talked about it before, but like a loss would affect Canelo a lot more than it would affect Bud. If Bud loses, he went up 2 weight classes. He dared to be great, and I mean he's probably gonna win rounds as well. Like especially early on, we know Canelo sort of starts slow. He ends up gassing late. I think Bud will win rounds, probably look good, especially in a few of them. But I'm nervous, man. Canelo, he could lose here, and that actually would be damaging, legacy-wise, if he did lose. So I'm nervous. It's nervous excitement though. I'm actually sort of looking forward to this.
I'm not sure if this is going to go differently from where Terrence Crawford, like you said, Isaac, he's not going to stand in front of Canelo. That's just a really bad idea. And I'm not sure if he feels a significant amount of power, which Canelo seems to have, given that he's bigger and he's also pretty powerful. I don't think he's gonna get closer than full range, and he's gonna be outboxing the whole time. I'm being a little bit of a doomer in that Canelo's footwork isn't the best, and Terrence Crawford is lighter on his feet, and he's just gonna stick and move. It's kind of what I'm expecting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wondering, you remember the Shakur versus Zepeda fight? You know how, like,
In the pocket.
Shakur, I mean, he was sort of in the pocket, but, he was lighting Zepeda up. Shit, like, from the mid to later rounds, I mean, he was getting off, like, full combinations on Zepeda. So I'm wondering, like, is this fight going to look like that?
I would pay twice for it if that's what happened.
Well, so
Yeah,
here's actually...
sort of wondering.
Here's my other thought that I had. So when Crawford fought Errol Spence, when we previewed that fight, we knew immediately how the fight was going to play out, right? Not that necessarily Crawford was going to win, but as the positions they were going to take. Spence wants to come forward and pressure fight. Crawford will immediately accept that position and be the counterpuncher. That is where they naturally want to be. That's where they do their best work. And that clash was why that fight was so, heavily hyped. We wanted to see that. And as it turns out, being that kind of fighter against Crawford, granted, Spence had potentially other health issues that diminished him. But even that, you could see style-wise, Crawford thrives in that environment. And what does Canelo want to do? What is his natural inclination? It's to come forward into pressure. That's where he wants to be. He wants to be landing. There's a reason he's lands the most amount of power punches among most active fighters. As far as he loads up on everything he does. And that's kind of interesting. What's going to happen if Canelo steps to him and Crawford says, sure, I'll take this fight, and starts landing significant power shots back? That's what I'm interested in seeing. And, I hope that Crawford's not going to do what Charlo did and realize, yeah, this isn't going to happen for me. I'm going to survive, right? I hope that Crawford has the grit to stand and fight for, if nothing else, his legacy. I want to see him step on the gas here. But that's the dynamic I see playing out. Or we've seen that, in Canelo's fight against Bivol, right? He tried to do that versus Bivol, and when he started getting resistance and pushed back, he switched to trying to counterpunch, and then Bivol started to get the better of him even in that area. And so that's the thing I'm most excited to see. And we'll know within the first 3 or 4 rounds if that's going to work or not. But that's what I want to see from Crawford. Is he going to be able to fight the same kind of fight he did against Errol Spence?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the razor's edge. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think Bud definitely has like a different mentality. Like, especially, you watch the countdown, which is like honestly, it's in UFC style type promotion. But Bud, I mean, we saw it, in the in the build up to the Spence fight. Whenever Bud says something, he 100% believes it. And like they've been saying for some time now that they're gonna finish Canelo, and like, I don't think that's possible. I could be wrong. Like, the next time we hear, or the next time you hear us, you might hear me just, semi crashing out over being this wrong about Canelo Crawford. But I mean, man, I think relative to their primes, Canelo is more washed than Crawford is. Like, relative to their primes, because like, and it sort of makes sense as well, because Bud, he takes less damage. He takes more time in between fights. I don't know, man. I think Bud definitely has real chances to win here. If he wins, I think it's most likely on points. But I mean, we'll see. I think that's the part that does make it interesting, because there are some questions that need to be answered. Like, I mean, we made a few of them. Can Bud handle the power? Will Canelo be able to deal with Crawford's boxing and speed? How will Canelo's gas tank fare later on down the stretch? How will Bud handle the weight? He's going up 2 weight divisions. Is that going to make him slower? Is he going to potentially have cardio issues later on? There's some questions that need answering. So, it does make the fight pretty interesting.
The razor's edge of Canelo comes forward. Terrence Crawford takes the fight in the pocket and counterpunches from that position. Will he feel the power and then decide to do the Charlo? Or is he going to succeed the way he did against Sean Porter? Oof. That's where I'm at now. That was a good assessment, Nathan. That's quite the quandary here.
I think it's really the only way this fight lives up to the hype is that the fight plays out like that and Crawford's able to succeed in that position, because I don't see all the other options are Canelo unanimous decision, right? But if we're looking at the one route that Crawford has to victory, I think it has to be something along those lines.
Oh man. All right, I'm a little bit more excited for this one now that we've talked through it a bit.
Yeah, dude, fight day, the nerves are going to be massive. Massive.
Man, anything more for Canelo Crawford?
I hope it lives up to it, man. That's all I'm hoping for is a good fight. I don't really care who wins. I just want it to live up to the hype it's being billed as. That's all I want.
Yeah.
All right, let me do this. In today's connected world, your digital life is always on. You shop, you bank, you connect with friends and family. All of this happens online. But with every download, every click, there lurks a hidden danger: viruses and other cyber threats. One wrong move and your personal data, your photos, even your identity could be at risk. And that's a scary thought. You need more than just hope or vibes. You need proven protection. Support for this episode is from Malwarebytes. It's your digital shield, constantly detecting, blocking, and eliminating the nastiest shit that you can find online. Think of it as your personal cyber guardian, always on watch so that you don't have to be. With Malwarebytes, you can browse, bank, enjoy your online life with confidence. No more worrying about malware, phishing scams, ransomware, or any of that other nasty shit. Enjoy secure access to what matters most to you. Protect your digital world, protect your peace of mind. Take Malwarebytes for a trial run today. Go to lvx.be/MWB and invest in your online security today. So, as we head into Canelo Crawford weekend, let me do some bows here. Get yourself into the conversation. Comment on if you want to comment on Canelo Crawford, Noche UFC, anything that's come up, 833-589-7637. It's totally anonymous, so I don't know if you want to tell me how shitty my takes are, go ahead. If you want to chat with us directly, lvx.be/discord. If you go through Patreon, you could get yourself a little roll. You can bypass some of the hazing that happens for new people, for grays, as we refer to them. Or just go straight in as a gray, and you'll have to get the UFC treatment, trial by fire, but I'm sure you'll make it. So with that being said, parting words.
We've got two fights holding up this entire weekend. Basically, it's Canelo and Crawford, and Lopez and Silva, and so let's hope and pray that they both deliver.
Yeah, for me, because I'm a fan of both boxing and MMA. I'm gonna be telling people to tune in for the Diego Lopez versus John Silva fight, for sure. Just 'cause I think it will be good. But likewise for our team, I think you guys should tune in to maybe the Christian and Billy versus Lester Martinez fight, and obviously like the main event. It has that big boxing has that. I don't know, it's got like an air to it. It's got like just like an atmosphere to it whenever it does hit. So definitely tune in for those, I think.
I've been at some Canelo fights. The atmosphere is fucking electric. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It is so cool.
Loud, man. It's loud.
Very. All right. That's going to do it. We'll see you on the other side of Noche UFC and Canelo Crawford.